There was no doubt anymore. Skynet had created a cybernetic organism. It was designed to blur the line between a man and a machine. People started to think that there were Terminators amongst us, wolves in sheep's clothes. Some of us left, even though we hadn't seen any other infiltrators yet. Or at least, we didn't think we had. And that fear of not knowing was what turned the tide of this war. That night, Skynet won.
I still have to run some tests, so for now I would say no.
We need some more time,
I
Connor.
know you don't want to hear this, Commander, but if there's one person who can help us, it's Dr. Mack.
Mack, we don't even know if he's alive.
He is. He's in the Hollywood Hills. We knew a time would come when we'd need him again, so we've kept an eye on him.
Wait. You've been watching him without telling me?
Let your emotions cloud your judgment before, Commander. That's why I decided that Mack's whereabouts were no longer
This is
your
bullshit. He can't just magically fix all of our problems. He's a man, not a god. A man that makes
That's enough,
mistakes.
Commander.
You know what happened last time. He's the reason Perry's
I
dead.
said that's enough. Sergeant Rivers?
Yes, sir.
TechCom believes that being marked for termination is a badge of honor. A sign that we're doing something right. We wear it proudly. And knowing you're wearing such a badge, Rivers, is all I need to trust you with handling this mission. Commander Barron will fill you in on the details. Good luck, soldier. Over and out.
Looks like you're going to Hollywood Hills. Dr. Edwin Mack is the one who taught us how to use Skynet's weapons, so there's a chance he can do it again. Take him that second-generation plasma rifle and see if he's able to reprogram it. If we want to use Skynet's weapons, we need to bypass their encryption lockouts.
How will I find him?
He's obsessed with surveillance. So when you get there, look for any cameras, biometric sensors, or any other tech stuff. He should be around. That's it.
Sure, let's trust someone who gets called Dr. Death. That won't bite us in the ass. In the meantime, I'll see what I can learn from the new CPU we acquired from that infiltrator. This could be the breakthrough that we've all been waiting for. I need to concentrate, so please don't disturb me.
Okay, I'll do my best not to. So we've got our first fucking...
What do you need?
Was Mack the one whose drone you smashed?
Yes. Yes, it was. I've never told this to anyone, but before I met Mack and Perry, I was wandering alone. Didn't have a map, so I drew one myself. The first people I came across were two guys, old enough to remember Judgment Day. We camped out together. They gave me advice, we shared some stories. Sounds nice, right?
Yeah, it sounds lovely.
A little too good to be true.
It was. I was too naive to notice it back then. When I woke up, all my things were gone, including my map. There I was, lost in the desert. Thirst and hunger. I knew I was gonna die. I passed out with my face in the sand. But next thing, I was lying in a bed, bathed and wearing clean clothes.
You're lucky someone found you.
Someone did find me. Too bad it was Skynet. Through the window, I saw thousands of Terminators. First, I thought it was a work camp. But it was something else. A Skynet research facility. They kept me alive, but I didn't know why. I thought I was the only human there. But after a while, someone came into my cell. A man. Well-dressed, clean-shaven. You want to take a guess who that was?
One of those guys who robbed you?
No. He was a traitor to his race. Bastard was selling every piece of knowledge the machines didn't have. In return, they gave him everything he wanted. When he was done stuffing his face with food, he had another request. He wanted a whore. It lasted months, until I got to wrap a towel around his neck and make his eyes pop.
Shit. But fair enough.
You don't want to see people for what they really are. I've seen their true face. That traitor, those two guys in the desert, Mack, they all showed it to me. It's not pretty. The truth is, the only reason I fight for the Resistance is because I despise people just a little less than the machines.
Anything I should know about Dr. Mack before I leave?
Only that he can't be trusted and he's highly manipulative. So you need to stay cautious.
After careful analysis, I've come to the conclusion that under a microscope, the infiltrator's skin is indistinguishable from that of a human epidermis. They have approximately the same amount of nerve endings as humans. The skin is covered with hair follicles and sweat glands are functional. For all intents and purposes, the Terminator skin can be characterized as a living tissue. It is advised that we learn about how the skin reacts to various forms of stimuli. Perhaps the results could provide us with an idea of how to distinguish between Terminators and humans. What is even more impressive is its cardiovascular system, or should I say vascular system, considering the infiltrators do not possess an organic heart. The pumping of the blood is carried out by a mechanical circulatory system, which is also responsible for filtering blood. The cell count is nearly identical to that of humans. Its body is a form of biofluid. It should be handled with care and imperative that we avoid contaminating the sample.
Jacob,
Hello,
do you have a minute?
Of course.
I've heard that you're going to Hollywood Hills. Well, with Baron yelling like that, the whole shelter heard. He wanted me to tell you if I needed anything, so here it is. When you get to Hollywood Hills, could you stop by my old house? It's near the Griffith Park tennis courts. I wonder if Peter went there and left something for me. I know he'd be stupid to go there since now it's behind the Annihilation Line, but then again, he was always full of stupid ideas.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you.
Look at him. He never talks to anyone. He just sits there.
I bet he's one of those machines.
Why do you think Skynet doesn't have their plants in the South?
I don't think. I just hope.
Everyone's leaving. I think we should as well.
Yeah, but where to?
Don't be shy, Rivers. Turn up the volume. Jacob.
What happened after you started your career?
Honestly, not that much. At least not in the beginning. When we gave up on the idea of getting in touch with anyone, we just tried to adapt. Temperatures fell, we had to scavenge for food. All of a sudden, that became our life.
Didn't you try to reach home?
Some people did. Most of us were scared of what we'd find if we did get home, so we conveniently said we're stranded here anyways and stayed. Well, I know how stupid it sounds, but we managed to have fun in our little commune. I still had my guitar with me. We talked a lot about how we're gonna be famous, because we're the only living band in the world.
What was your band's name?
Well, we were thinking about changing it to Survivors, but something similar was already taken. We were just stupid kids, not realizing what was going on. We paid the price for it the first time we saw a tin can. I was tuning my guitar when I heard a strange noise. I found out later that it was a T-400. Must have heard me play. It didn't even have the decency to look scary. Maybe if it did, we wouldn't have just stood there when it started firing.
What did you do?
I froze. I didn't run to help. I didn't scream. I didn't even move. I just stood there, like a coward. The tin can got Tucker with a single bullet. Bang, just like that. 7 other people died before we finally destroyed that thing. Ironically enough, I was the one who delivered the final blow. Safe to say, it was the beginning of a new era.
Earlier, you said that a new era started. What changed?
Well, for one thing, with Tucker dead, I became the new leader of the group. Something I never expected or wanted, for that matter.
Did everyone agree that you should be the leader?
Not everyone. We had a huge fight about food, though, where we should go next, and so on. Our group divided without Tucker to keep it together. I was terrified. I started to walk away like I was on autopilot. I don't know if I wanted to run away or to kill myself, but then something surreal happened. I found a metal door in the ground in the middle of nowhere. I was real unsure about what I might find under it, but what I did find was the aftermath of a massacre.
More Terminators?
That's exactly what I thought at first, but it turned out to be something even more scary. It looked like they decided to commit suicide. I couldn't understand it. To me, they had everything. Food, water. They even had a case of beer. So, I got shit-faced and started crying over my brother's death. But I realized something. I realized that I could maybe survive there.
Did you stay there by yourself?
No, I told everybody about the place. I felt I owed them. After that, we were all right. That night, I learned 2 things. Firstly, that it's okay to be scared. Secondly, that there are 2 sides to everybody. Ironically, me being a scaredy cat turned me into a good leader. And that's how I found that place, and that's what motivated me to help others. But Tucker, he was a leader from the start, but he had an ugly side too. He killed those who opposed him. He was a real scumbag, but he was my brother. He made me want to be a good person for the both of us. A hangover wasn't a high price to pay for that lesson.
What's the situation like in the shelter?
Not that great. People are getting nervous. A lot have already left, and even more plan to leave. Even Mark and Laura saw them packing earlier.
And what about you?
Just the thought of running again's making me sick. Must be getting old. Plus, we got everything we could need right here. Where else would I go? Besides, I have faith that Baron would never let anything happen to this place. She's way too upset about security. See? I knew you'd like it.
God damn it! I thought I told you, I can't work with so much noise. I need absolute silence, so please stop that. I swear I should just join Skynet!
Do you need anything?
Can I see your hardware?
Jacob, I didn't see you there.
Is everything okay? You seem far away.
Nothing can get past you, can it?
Nope.
I've been thinking about the day we met. I never told you how we really ended up there.
You can tell me anything.
I know I can. That's why you're the first person I'm telling this to. That day, loud hammering woke me up. When I came downstairs, I saw my father nailing the window shut. Through the crack, I saw them coming. Hundreds of metal heads and their red eyes. Even though they're just empty shells, I could feel the hate radiating from them.
What did you do?
I made Patrick stay upstairs and went back to talk to my father. We argued for a minute or two, and I tried to pull him away from the window. He pushed me away. I tried it again, but he shoved me. And this time I fell. I didn't recognize him as he was reaching for a shotgun. He said, I shouldn't worry about the machines. They wouldn't hurt us. I don't even remember how. But the gun was already in my hands. I closed my eyes and went someplace else. Didn't even hear the shot. I didn't hear Patrick's steps either.
He saw you?
He did. He was staring at me like I was a stranger. He didn't scream or cry. He just stared. I threw the gun away, grabbed Patrick, and tried not to notice the hole in my father's unmoving chest. As we ran, I could hear them coming, so we found somewhere to hide. Then you came. I wanted to tell someone about all this, but I was afraid to.
You don't have to be afraid.
I'm not. Not anymore. We talk a lot about how heartless the machines are. And I started to think that maybe I was too. I probably would have convinced myself of that if it wasn't for you keeping me sane. Thank you for everything. I never thought I would find a friend in times like these.
Where are you going?
I'm going out scavenging. Don't worry. I'm past thinking about running away. Knowing how much you'd miss me made me not want to leave.
Where's Patrick?
He's getting ready. I'm taking him with me. I figure it's time for him to see what's out there.
Is it true?
That's not good, is it?
Oh, what's with the dogs?
They've been like that ever since they brought that thing in.